Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, let's get into this story about the young lady, if y'all remember a few weeks back. The young sister that was, shot and killed by an older white woman through a door. So now the family is outraged because the charges that were presented aren't the ones that they were looking for. And this story really goes to about emotions and how we cannot allow emotions to help us dictate decisions. Because most of the time, emotions cause problems. There's rarely anything positive or beneficial that comes out when your decisions are based on emotions, especially emotions of like anger. We have to, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate and try to be a voice of reason. You have to use logic and knowledge in what is actually presented to make your point. You can't make people feel certain type of way and move a certain type of way just because by the way you feel, especially when it comes to law. When it comes to law, you have to just go by it and have to understand it and know it. No, I'm not a lawyer. I've never studied, but I do try to Google things from time to time. So with that being said, let's get into this story so we can, break it down. This is from news1.com and it reads, say outrage after charges against white woman who killed G.K. Owens aren't upgraded to murder. Quote, we are deeply disappointed by this decision, Owens' family said to their lawyer. Now you gotta understand, this is the family saying this, not the lawyer, because I'm quite sure the lawyer knows and understands why this was done this way. But the family, again, being emotional about what happened, you can understand, I understand, I empathize, but that's just not the way the law works. This is from Ben Crump. We know him, he's a civil rights case chaser like a song gun. It says the Florida prosecutor on Monday declined to upgrade manslaughter charges against a white woman with a documented history of racism who shot her unarmed black neighbor and allegedly harassed her children with racial slurs. Despite the above, there was insufficient evidence. He said, despite the above, it doesn't say despite the overwhelming evidence, for a murder charge. It doesn't say that, it just says despite the above, there was insufficient evidence that a G.K. Owens, a 35-year-old mother of four, was the victim of a murder, state's attorney William Gladson said, while explaining that he and his office cannot prove Susan Lawrence had, quote, a depraved mind toward the victim at the time of the killing, the WCJB report. In other words, Lawrence, 58, has effectively dodged the murder charge that Owens' family had demanded ever since the suspect delayed arrest earlier this month. Now, here's the thing. You demanded a murder charge. Do y'all know what murder means? The definition of a murder. You can Google it. You can look it up. Basically, a murder in any form or fashion is when you take someone's life pretty much premeditatedly, that you planned it out. And that's what, period. And in this case, you really can't state, you can't prove that this older woman planned it. You can't have, people can be racist, bigoted, cuss your kids out, call y'all kind of N-words, stay off my yard, all this kind of stuff. You N-words are making too much, your monkeys are making too much noise. They can say all that and there'll be nothing behind it. They're not bringing a fight, they're not bringing anything. They're just old people that like to cuss people out, and that's just the way they were. And the older you get, the more senile you get, the more you be like, man, I don't give a damn because I done lived my life. I'm going to say and do what I want to. You don't believe it? Talk to your parents and your grandparents and just hang around them for a little while and you'll see as they get in their 60s and 70s and, around about that age, oh yeah, 50s, retirement age, they ain't got time. They ain't putting up with bullcorn. They're not politically correct at all. Period. So that's just who she is. My thing is, I try not to, as a person, growing up in the South, seeing racism, dealt with, being called an N-word, this, and the third. I try not to allow words or name calling to affect my judgment. Even if people get upset, I try to stay calm and cool. Man, I got two sayings. One, man, I just want to go home at the end of the day. And two, I'm just here for the chips and salsa. Basically, I'm not here for nothing extra. I mean, it is, I just want to have a pleasant day, nothing to provoke me, try not to provoke nobody. Let me live, I let you live. This, that, and the third. If there's any kind of disagreement or conflict that needs to be resolved, try to handle it as peaceful and as easily as possible to where nobody gets hurt. We try to minimize damage, and definitely nobody gets deleted. Definitely we don't want that, because those ramifications go beyond this little petty argument that we have. So, with that being said, like I said, once you get off the emotions, like I said, you can demand murder, but murder is premeditated. That's why it came to manslaughter, because manslaughter is more of a doing the act like in the heat of the moment type thing. It's pretty, to say it in a nutshell. Matter of fact, let me just read this real quick. Make it real easy. Manslaughter is the unlawful killing of a human being without malice, a forethought. Basically, you didn't think about it, it just happened. So, a woman comes, regardless if it's righteous or not, she comes up to your door, bamming, want to know why you yelling at her kids, why you throwing stuff at my kids, this, that, and the third. And your scary tail ran in the house, got a gun, and shot through the door because you were afraid of your life. But you wasn't scared of your life when you was out there, cussing out these babies and trying to confront these little kids. But then when somebody your own size come at you, somebody bigger than you, or whatever comes at you, now all of a sudden, you're scared. It was so bad, little lady, why you ain't call the police? These kids was being so bad and so reckless and, and violating ordinances or whatever. You just had to show your little racism. And in the end, you took somebody's life, which wasn't warranted. So a lawyer representing Owens' family said they were disappointed at the refusal of prosecutors to charge Lawrence with murder. Like I said, it's two different definitions. We are deeply disappointed by this decision. All the evidence unequivocally support the elevation of this charge to second-degree murder. We firmly believe that justice demands nothing less. You see what second-degree murder is right quick. Man, like this is, I should do like live videos. I see things and I'm ready. Let's see, second-degree murder. Second, murder that is not aggravated by any of the circumstances of first degree. Also, the term says first degree murder that involves a willful, deliberate, and premeditated killing, or that is committed during the course of another dangerous felon. So that's the first degree. And second degree murder is not aggravated by any of the circumstances of the first degree. Also, term murder second degree, murder two. Again, like I say, murder, like I say, it's premeditated, and this is not premeditated. Well, you can't prove it was. So you gotta say that it'd be different if she had a gun in her waistband and she go out there, even if she go out there and provoke the kids, and the mama come, and the mama run out there and she shoots the mom. She can just say that, hey, she carried a gun for protection, just in case somebody came at her. But in her heart, she probably could say, I'm gonna provoke these kids and the mama run up, I'm gonna blast her. Now, she would have said in the past, I'm gonna kill you kids, I'm gonna kill your mom, and the third, then you probably could have got the murder charge, but not this way. It's like we firmly believe that justice demands nothing less. Anthony Thomas said in a statement, the failure of the prosecutor to charge Susan with what truly reflected her wanton, reckless behavior undermines our ability to even get the real accountability. Nevertheless, our resolve remains unwavering and we will continue to fight. Owen's mother, Pamela Diaz, pointed to the devastating effect on her grandchildren. How do I explain to AJ's children, my youngest grandbabies, that the loss of their mother's life is still not being taken seriously? Pamela Diaz said, only a living, breathing AJ would be true justice, and today's charge could not be further from that. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who also represents Owen's family, emphasizes a resolve for justice. That dang on Ben Crump, that's a payday. He's a payday, and that's, anyway. The family will continue to not only advocate for accountability in all forms, but they also will continue to say her name so that Florida officials remember this tragic loss of life. Never really understood that when they say their name. You know, especially when there's nothing behind it. Like I said, all this stuff is emotion. Emotion, you know, we need emotions because you got to have some fire behind you. Because if not, if you have no emotion and no fire behind you, yes, you will let things just pass and not care. But like I said earlier, with that being said, it cannot be the leader. It cannot lead your fight for justice, for equality, or whatever you deem is important. Just can't do it. There's still much that needs to be done to make Florida a place where Black women and children feel safe and protected. Reverend Al Sharpton described Monday's development as a major failure by the legal system. It was an outrageous decision to not bring murder charges against a shooter who fired blindly through the door, Sharpton said in a statement emailed to News One. Let me tell you something. Again, like I said, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. You know, not on this woman's side at all, this shooter's side. You know, she's like 58 years old. She still should be in her right mind. Just a cowardly act. You know, like I said, she racist, got a gun. It's kind of like when you're on the road and somebody may accidentally cut someone off because they didn't see him, or speeding, or almost run the back of them, or whatever, you know, an accident. And then people want to start hollering, cussing each other out. But when you stop and jump out the car to confront them, they just keep going. Or they jump out with a gun in their hand, first thing. It is what it is. People feel a little more protected when they got guns. So again, she got a gun. She used it. Now, I'm gonna say this. Let's say somebody is breaking in my house, regardless of the circumstances. If somebody bamming on my door, beating on my door, I'm gonna say, hey, I'll tell them, hey, stop beating on my door, don't come in, or I'll shoot. And they keep beating on it, and I just fire through the door. You can say it's blindly. I know who's over there. You can say I'm doing it blindly. But that Florida's gonna be that whole stand your ground state. And that's also an issue where people don't understand what that law means. You know, stand your ground is like, you know, it has to be, anybody can beat on your door. Now, if they kick that door in, I think you have the right to shoot. But if they beating, you call the police and you confront them, you tell them to stop, and go from there. But I mean, that's just law. It's not what we feel. It has no difference with what we feel we should do. What do I think? I think she just needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, whatever charges that they can. And I think she still can serve like 35 years. So it's not all lost, because there's a lot of people I know that heard about, know that, you know what I'm saying, killed somebody and didn't even serve 10 years, and we know it's premeditated. So if she can get 35 years and up, I mean, shoot, that's good. He said with the surge in GoFundMe account having already received $250,000, Owen's family also created a website where supporters can choose from 6 different ways to get involved. The site also invites people to sign a petition demanding a thorough investigation and grand jury prosecution that delivers full accountability, including upgrading Lawrence's charge to second-degree murder. The petition also demands the repeal of Florida's Stand Your Ground laws. Lastly, the site provokes a link to important information on how you can take action against Florida's Stand Your Ground laws while promoting common sense gun policies. Well, there you go. See, now that makes sense. Try to change the laws. But that's basically what it comes down to. Like I was saying earlier, you have to know the law, understand the law, and you also got to make changes. And you pretty much need to have some money to be able to back certain candidates who would help get rid of laws when need be. As long as you have no money, as long as you have no power or no people in positions, this stuff will be hard. This is why we have to advocate for creating our own, well, let's just say this. If you're the majority, if we are the majority of certain cities, I think it's only right that we have politicians that represent us. Representation is important. So we can all talk about voting. And you know, most of us try to vote this whole Democratic Party, but a lot of these issues happen in Democratic states. Now, Florida is not. Florida, you know, you got Ron DeSantis, I believe, when he was governor. And we know all the crazy stuff he's doing. But if you don't like the law, you change it. You change the people, and you change the people. That will change the law. But, you know, you try to back it with a little funding. You get your little super PAC, get your candidate, get them in there so they can make them changes. Without that, Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and ain't nobody else gonna make changes. They've been doing this for years. And as you see, how much change have you seen across the country? How much change have you seen? What did they give you? A George Floyd statue? They had a bill that never got passed. But you got an Asian hate crime bill that got passed. You didn't need no Asian person to die. Ain't no statue out there of the Asian person that got beat up. They just got a hate crime bill. You get a statue. We get Juneteenth as a federal holiday, which I said before, I don't think it should be a federal holiday. I think it should stay here in Texas, because it just don't make sense to make that a federal holiday to celebrate all black folks in America. It just don't make sense. So to me, it's just more bells and whistles and more stuff that just don't make sense. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story, man. I think it's unfortunate. The young lady got taken out. I believe that, you you do something like this, and what is it, eye for an eye? I ain't gonna say eye for an eye, but you should be, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and hopefully she will be. I wonder if she got a GoFundMe. That's a dang on me good question. Hold on real quick before I run up out of here. Can I look this woman's name up real fast? What's her name? Susan. Let's see if she got to go. No. Wait. Give, send, go. Let's look. Wait a minute. Susan Lewis Lawrence, defense. Give, send, go. Let's see how much. Go. Okay, well, there you go. Don't tread on me. It's urgent. There is a request for $100,000, and right now it is at $105. So, well, there you go. So it looks like we are on code more than they are on code for once. There have been, let's see how many donations you have. There are Come on. 2 donations. One for $5 16 days ago and one for $100 17 days ago. So, well, it looks like they're not really on code on this one yet. Maybe, yeah, we'll just go with that. That's good. So anyway, again, tell me what you think about this story. Leave comments below and then share the link. Please share your comments with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.